Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Fun Time Podcast. I am your host, Cole, once again by myself. Before we get into the main part of the episode that I'm going to be discussing, I think I'm going to end up it's probably going to be the discussion on the Dominos thing that I'm going to talk about later. We got a few things to run over, so if it sounds a little bit different, I'm using my lapel mic that I got, that I'm using for the actual YouTube videos I've been working on. Depending on when this gets uploaded, the Pinball Wizard video has either gone up already or still needs to be worked on. It's just because I've been having some trouble with the editing software being really shitty. So if you have any recommendations for some free or cheap video editing software that actually works, because OpenShot's being a piece of shit, please let me know, because I will greatly appreciate it. There's that. So obviously the lapel mic might sound a little bit different. So if it's bad, let me know. If it's better, let me know. Or don't, and we'll see what happens. It might sound better, it might not. I'm also recording this in a closet because I thought maybe that'll help with the acoustics or something. I don't really know a whole lot about all that stuff. But I can also sit here and play Switch while I talk for once, so that's kind of cool. Because this is just pretty convenient to be using the lapel mic and just to be hanging out, because normally if I'm going to go in a different room, because like I said, we don't have a room to really record in anymore, like a primary work room. So my desk where I do schoolwork is just basically in the middle of the area between the kitchen and the living room, which is not a huge help for me, and it definitely isn't useful for recording purposes. So I either got to drag my laptop and the whole mic with the stand and everything into Carter's room or my room that I share with my girlfriend. Both of those rooms are pretty messy most of the time, but it's not my fault. But so it's just like a hassle to have to carry those things. I mean, obviously, it's a very first world problem to complain about, but moving all of that around and setting it up, it's much easier. I just sat down, plugged the lapel mic into my phone, clipped the lapel mic to my shirt, and hit record on the voice memo. So we'll see if this even works, because depending on how easy it is to get this off of here, I might not even move forward with this recording, because from what I looked at, it was pretty easy to get them off of here, but it might prove to be a completely different situation once I have a pretty long recording. So we'll see what happens there. I'm also going to be trying to fix a bunch of the shit on the YouTube channel. I was thinking about it, and I don't really like the fucking arbitrary ass season thing that I'm doing for some reason. So I'm probably just going to change all of that to just regular episode numbers. I'm going to either have one of my roommates try to draw something for me for thumbnails and stuff, like a template, or just go on Fiverr or something and pay some fucker in Indonesia or something to take care of it, because most of the talent is not, at least most of the talent on Fiverr is not coming out of this country. So, what else do we have besides that? The mic thing, the Pinball Wizard thing, I don't know. What else? Fuck. It's also, I've remembered, it's also going to be, it's going to be at the end of the Pinball Wizard video, but I'm trying to do more of the, videos like that, the long form, I'm going somewhere and discussing it or stuff like that. So, if you have any suggestions for stuff in Vegas maybe you want to see or something like that, or something you want to see me discuss, let me know. Besides obviously the normal podcast stuff, but I don't really take suggestions for that, so that's fine. But I want to do more of those long form videos because they're just kind of fun to fill in the space with the podcast, because I'm going to try to be doing these actually consistently for once, now that I've kind of figured out a better system. But every time I say that, it doesn't end up working out. And like school is such like a fucking mess when it comes to it, you know what I mean? Like, 1 week or like 2 weeks in a row, it'll be pretty easy to like work on videos and still do schoolwork and still like have a social life. And then the next week, it's a complete fucking nightmare, and I can't do anything but write. And then that just becomes my week. Like the last 2.5 weeks of this month have just been, I'm gonna write every single day, or if I'm not writing, I'm collecting research on the thing I'm gonna write about. And if I'm not doing that, I was just in the gym. So it was between the library and the gym a lot this month. But yeah, so that's another thing, I guess. I've been the minor thing. I've been hitting the gym a lot more consistently. Not that I wasn't going before, but it just wasn't as consistent. I'm starting to see some nice change, so that's good. It sounds like a really shitty way to approach it, but I got, like, for a long time when I was working out when I was younger, I would get discouraged by not seeing results in, like, 4 or 5 months, like, real ones, even though that's not realistic. But I hit a point with this where I was just like, I don't even care if it doesn't produce anything anymore. I'm just going to work out because it's healthy for me. And then eventually it started producing stuff because I just, like, didn't think about it, I guess. So, in a way, just, like, ignoring my body's progress and just going to the gym was really helpful. I just probably could have come to that conclusion in a bit of a healthier way. But that's okay. Life happens, and life finds a way, as God Bloom said. So, I wonder, is there anything else? Oh, right. I'm going back to New Hampshire next month, or I think next month or end of June, beginning of June, I mean. I'm not going to tell you exactly when I'm going, but I'm definitely going to try to get some content made while I'm out there. I want to meet up with Mike, my friend that I think I've talked about before, and I don't know if you guys are film people or watch the Grammys, the Oscars, but my friend Mike is a film major. He wants to be a director, and he got the opportunity to work with someone who worked on the movie Coda, the one that I think they won for Best Supporting Actor and Best Picture, actually. It was the movie. I haven't seen it yet. You see it still, but it was about a deaf guy in Massachusetts. That's all I know. They thanked the fishing community in Gloucester a lot, which I liked. That was fun to hear, just because we're from such like a rinky-dink part of the country. Not really rinky-dink, but like it's not the West Coast or like something like that. You know what I mean? So like, outside of Massachusetts, we don't really get much of a mention, so it was nice to hear it brought up. But yeah, I want to see if I can talk to him about that. I want to see if I can possibly talk to either Robbie or all of Sunday Driver again and get like an update from them, if they're working on anything. I mean, it would probably make more sense to do that if they were working on an album or something. So, I'll have to talk to Robbie about that. I was kind of hoping that video would have performed better because it was like an interesting, unique thing, and I thought like maybe that would help them take what I'm doing a little more seriously, so that they would keep in contact and want to be interviewed. But that's not really their fault. That's just the fault of my channel. Like, it's not really anyone's fault. It's just like I only do this for fun, so it's not like I really expect anything to come from it. Like, some videos get 12 views, some videos get like 35 or 40, and that's like, I guess, enough for me. Like, what, it's 40 people seeing or listening even for a few minutes to Carter and I talk is more than normal, like, in a day or whatever. Like, it's more people than I would normally be talking to and getting just like random shit I'm saying heard by. So it's cool regardless, you know what I mean? Like, the numbers it's obviously would be cool to be like building more, because I don't see a lot of growth right now, but that's obviously because I'm not staying consistent. But I'm rambling about YouTube nonsense to you guys, so I guess I can move into the main topic now that we're about like 10 minutes or so in. So I don't know if you guys have seen a lot in the news recently, but because people aren't really responding, or businesses aren't responding to the requests of normal people, that after the pandemic, obviously, especially like fast food service and retail, like that stuff, the value of it was clearly shown throughout this whole event. And as such, people that work in those industries are now expecting, like, hey, maybe pay us properly, because you dickheads were really all up our asses during the pandemic, especially the height of it, like trying to get Uber Eats and trying to get fucking McDonald's, and it's like they want to be paid respectfully now, and no one's responding to that. So people aren't really getting new hires right now. So as a result, companies are resorting to going through their like backlog of employees, other people that let go, fired, left, whatever, and trying to hire those people, because I guess the rehire rate is higher than like the new hire rate. I don't know how exactly it works, but I just do know for a fact that they are referring back to older employees. I guess because they're... I really don't know, to be honest with you, because... Hold on, sorry. I guess it would work better in a case it's not the story I'm going to tell, where you actually left the company amicably or something. But either way, if they're not willing to pay people more, I don't know why you'd want to work for a company that wouldn't be willing to meet the standards that people are expecting now. But that's besides the point. So I guess I'll start... How should I start this? Let me think. I guess let's just say our story starts with me working at Dominos last year. I know everyone likes Domino's pizza, or not everyone, but I guess most people do. I like it when I'm drunk, I guess, is the way you could put it. Nothing too spectacular about it. Half the time I ask them to put the garlic butter shit on the crust, they fucking never do. So I don't know what the point of all that is. But I was working for them in the summer last year, I think around like May or something like that. When I started there, they had this interesting position that was like an e-bike delivery driver. So it's like an electric assisted bicycle that goes around like 22 miles an hour or something like that, on like a flat. And you deliver pizzas on that. And I was like, that's really interesting, because I've done the fucking DoorDash before, so I'm kind of tired of like sitting in a car. But I was like, oh, it'd be really cool to like get to ride a bicycle around a neighborhood in Las Vegas that I'm not super familiar with, and kind of like get to know it and familiarize myself with like the area and being like around, because most of the time that I travel in Vegas, I'm either getting a ride from someone or I'm just going straight to school. Like, I don't go out too much unless it's in a car, and I've made a switch from that, but at least at the time I wasn't. But so I thought it'd be a really cool way to see the city and stuff. So I applied for that position, and it very specifically said that like I wasn't really gonna have to help making pizzas, because I was gonna be delivering a lot, and I could just like kind of like stalk and hang out otherwise. But really quickly it ends up not being like that. And I think one of the first... I don't even know how I didn't think of this, like how this blew by me. I guess they just like sweet talked me into thinking it all just made sense. I don't know any other way to explain how stupid I was being. But they basically had me sign away my legally like given 30-minute break for like an 8-hour shift or whatever, by saying that like, oh, because you're a delivery driver, when you come in between deliveries, you're just going to get like, you'll just get to hang out, basically. Like, you don't have to work while you're in the store if you're a delivery driver and you're waiting for another delivery. So I was like, that's really cool. If all I have to do is forfeit my 30-minute break, as like, I guess, justification for letting me sit around a lot, that's great. Just whatever you got to do, man. Like, I'll definitely take it, because most of the time I would imagine it would allot to more than 30 minutes. So I let them move forward with that, and I start working there. And I told them specifically I only wanted to work like 20 to 30 hours a week, because like I truly just don't feel like it. Like, I didn't feel like it at the time. I just wanted like a summer job to have some extra money. So I thought 20 to 30 was fine, like 25 maybe. Oh, I just messed with the mics. That probably peaked it. And I'm not going to edit it. But he told me, I'm going to cough again, hold on. Yeah, I can pause it to get the cough out. My boss told me that I was going to be put on for 40 hours for the first week just to train. And then it would be adjusted after that. So I'm doing the biking stuff, and like they start training me to like cook certain stuff, and I was like, I don't remember saying that I was going to be doing that, but I guess I can learn on the off chance that they really need me. So they had me start doing that. I'm starting to do the bike more. I liked the bike as much like as it wasn't completely like I didn't just sit there. Like it was fun. But we're gonna get to the bike specifically in a little bit. So there wasn't really anything too bad besides like the curiosity of making me learn how to make these things from the beginning. And I can't remember when exactly it was, but there'd be some stuff like I guess the first thing after that was the no breaks, really, that I noticed. Like, I wasn't getting any off time coming in to for making deliveries, because I get if I came back in and there's another delivery to be ready to be brought out, I'm going to go back out and bring it out, but half the time there wasn't, and they just start making me, like, do a whole bunch of shit like that. I ended up washing the dishes and shit, like, oh my god, there was one fucking night I was supposed to get out at, like, midnight, and like they decided to like make me wash dishes and shit because they knew I'd been a dishwasher in the past, and then lo and behold I don't get home until like 2:30 or something, which is fucking typical for washing dishes, but that's why I didn't want to be washing fucking dishes. So that was a whole thing. So yeah, we're at this point, this is probably about like a third of the way through me working there, where they've been training me to make shit that I'm not supposed to be really touching, because I told them I didn't want to. And they're making me work nonsense shit. But, like, you know, I was letting it all slide because, like, this is just part of working. Like, shit sucks sometimes. It's whatever. Like, it's fine. I was getting a little peeved off about the break thing because they weren't really giving me any time. But it was whatever. But there gets to be a point where the manager just starts being like more and more of a dick for no reason. And I think what I thought was interesting was like a guy that used to be on a bicycle, like it used to be a bicycle delivery driver, came in one day and like specifically was like looking for the manager. Either like he didn't want to see him or he wanted to tell him to fuck off or something. And I was like, I don't like that, because I remember specifically like some people had told me like, oh, we haven't had like a decent bicycle delivery guy in a while, and I was like, that's not a good sign. But yeah, basically it wasn't too bad besides that shit, but there would just be like times where I'd take out my phone and just like want to look at something for like 3 seconds, or just text my girlfriend like with the little like off time I have to take a drink of water while I'm coming in off the bike when it's like 95 degrees out, and I'm like toting these pizzas around. And they're like, hey, you can't be doing that. And I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to text my girlfriend so I can figure out how I'm going to get home tonight. Like, you need to relax. And, like, he was just always particularly a dick. But, I guess the big thing that led me to leaving there, because we'll get into why I left, but, like, what exactly happened. But there was one night where, the bike felt really weird when I was riding around. Like something just felt off, and I think I went to stand up to pedal harder, like as I was coming into the plaza with the Dominos, and I looked down and I finally realized that the fucking front tire was popped. So I was like, oh shit, I've been like riding around on the rim like this whole time. So I had to get this other bike that they had, which was fine, but obviously these are like on this electrical assisted bike, like it's a big bike because it's got to support all this fucking nonsense on it. So these are big ass tires, and they have some fucking guy. I don't know if he was like Shimano or some shit like that. I don't know if they even do repairs, but they had some guy come out and do like, they didn't even replace the whole fucking tube or anything. They just did like this shit patch job. And I literally told them, I was like, this isn't going to hold up. Like, I don't know what you expect to happen here. But they reassured me that it was going to hold. So I was out for a while that night, riding around, no problems, everything's fine. And then, hold on, I gotta check something real quick. Okay, yeah, so I was driving around doing some deliveries and shit. And at one point, I'm probably like a mile away from this house, and the fucking tire blows. Well, I'm going like, like 15 or something, so like it wasn't too bad, but I did have to like control the bike so that I wasn't gonna like fucking slide out next to these cars. And I pulled off to the side of the road, and I obviously immediately called the manager or whatever that was there at the time, because I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And he was like, okay, so how far are you from it? And I was like a mile and a half, because I was like, why are you asking me this? He was like, oh, well, so you can't walk it the rest of the way. And I was like, you fucking dickhead. Like, the first thing that came to your head was, can he walk it the rest of the way? I mean, which I would have if it was kind of short, but I was like, okay, so, like, I'm stuck out here in I'm with the pizza and shit, and he's like, okay, we're going to send someone out to come get you, or I'm going to send someone out to you. And I was like, okay, cool. Didn't say anything about, like, what that meant. So I just figured, okay, I'm getting picked up, I'm getting the pizza, we're going to figure this out. He sends this girl who gets out of the car. Car doesn't have space for me or the bike. So I immediately was like, oh, motherfuck. And she gets out of the car and wants the pizza. And I'm like, so what about me? He's like, she's like, I don't know. He didn't say anything about, like, you. And I'm like, oh, they're not sending anyone for me? She's like, no. And, like, I wasn't mad at her because it's not her fault. But I was like, so they literally just want me to walk this bike a mile and a half or whatever back to the store, like, on company time. No one's gonna come help me or nothing. And I was like, this is, like, I wouldn't normally complain, but this isn't my problem. Like, this is nowhere in the employee contract that any of this is my fucking problem. So my girlfriend was on the way to get me from work, and I'm like, okay, so I guess I'll just ask her to come get me, because my fucking employer won't do it with their company equipment and everything. Like, fuck, I could have ducked off with that company equipment in that car, then said I got jumped. And, like, you know what I mean? Then I just got, like, a fucking $1,500 bicycle out of them. But, no. I fucking didn't do any of that shit. I fucking had my girlfriend come pick me up. I was on the side of the road, breaking down the back of her seat, back seat, like, trying to fit this fucking huge-ass bicycle in with all this fucking electric motor and, like, fucking huge basket for pizza and shit. And she's gotta come pick me up. So then I come into the fucking Dominos, and I'm pissed as fuck. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to figure this out. So I just basically handle my shit, and I leave for the night. And I think after that I was going on vacation, and I messaged my manager and I called him or whatever, and I was like, hey, like, I need to talk to this about you, because I really don't understand why I keep getting shit on, like, more than everyone in the store. Like, that is how it felt. And especially after just leaving me on the side of the road and shit, I'm like, I don't fucking mean anything to you guys. Like, and we need to have an actual conversation about this. And my fucking boss ignored me for like 2 weeks or some shit. And I was like, you're really gonna not talk to me for this whole time? Like, you can't even call me. And I was just like, you know what? My vacation is gonna act as the time that would have been my 2-week notice time. I'm not fucking coming in. I'm quitting. I was like, literally, get fucked. Like, I've never done that in my life. Like, just like up and quit on a job without any notice like that. But I had never in my, like, I've had shitty jobs, I've had good jobs, but I've never had that much, like, disrespect flung at me in one place. And I just couldn't do it. I was like, what is this? Like, this is so fucked. And I was done. So, fast forward to now, I guess yesterday, after all that time spent not being at Domino's and shit, I did another internship and stuff. And remember the part where I was talking about employers hiring people that used to work for them? I shit you not, the recruiter that hired me for Domino's emailed me yesterday being like, hey, we know you worked for Domino's in the last year. Here are the positions we're hiring for. And I'm going to see if I can preface this to you guys if you made it this far in the video. Do I just ignore that? Or do I respond by saying absolutely fucking not? Basically, like, you guys shit on me. Like, you probably have no idea about it, but I want to tell you, like, they crapped on me hella hard, my guy. Like, I'm not fucking going back there. Figure your shit out. So yeah, I thought it was a funny story to make a podcast out of, because I was like, the fucking balls. Like, it should be on file that I quit, right? Like, you would think they kept that on file. But no, this guy emails me yesterday being like, hey, you want to come work for us? And I'm like, oh my god, you have to be kidding me. So yeah, I just thought that would be a fun little thing to tell y'all, because I wanted to get something out. It's been a little bit. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. So I thought, as clunky as this episode might sound, I just wanted to like get back in the swing of recording and stuff. So that is going to be it for that. Keep an eye out for the Pinball Wizard video. I really appreciate it if you made it this far, because not a lot of people do. So I want to give you a thumbs up for being here. I appreciate you. You're pretty cool. Yeah, so keep an eye out for the Pinball Wizard. We're going to be doing more of these. Pinball Wizard, that was an old thing. Back where I'm from, it's not Pinball Wizards. Pinball Hall of Fame. Have I been saying Pinball Wizard this whole video? Fuck. I might have. I don't even know. But, yeah, keep an eye out for those. Then I'm going to have another video like that, and we'll see what kind of content we can get out of the New Hampshire trip and stuff. And that'll be it for me, guys. Have a good one, and I will see you in the next video.